90% of junglers force dumb plays all the time, especially when... What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be VOD reviewing a game I played a little bit ago. So to go through our pregame checklist, the first thing we're going to want to look at is all the matchups. First and foremost, we have top lane. It's 2 meatballs. I don't really care about top lane, so we're just going to ignore top. Jungle matchup is favorable for Kindred. I can beat Diana 1v1, and I have PTA, which is super helpful. So I can look for early skirmishes against her, and spoiler alert, I do go for a skirmish and I do kill her. I'm not exactly sure how this mid matchup is supposed to go. I don't know mid matchups too well, but this I think is a fairly even matchup. They both have a decent amount of wave clear, and they're both melee champions, so it's a relatively volatile lane. So there's definitely ganks to look for here, but it's not necessarily my main objective, because as with every game, the main objective is obviously going to be bot lane. This is like a super aggressive all-in comp, and my comp does really well into dive. So I want to play for my bot lane, look for fights, winning 3v3s, etc. And as always, dragons matter more, so playing for bot is generally better, and you also get 2 champions to farm, which is also stronger than being top. Yeah, so getting into the game, I'm going to opt for a top start. One thing I should have done that I did not do is go for a level 1 ward somewhere in Diana's jungle to confirm her starting position. So I should have done something like this. There's a ward right here and then go back to here. But I end up actually doing the opposite of that. And I place my ward over here, and then I recall, and these 2 walk into my jungle, get a ward here. I basically should have done this, but on their blue. I know that they have vision on my start, so I call my top laner to ask for a leash, because they're already going to know that I'm starting here. So revealing my position with the leash doesn't really matter, and it just makes my clear a little bit faster. So do this. Diana's slightly ahead of me, but we're basically in the same place. I'm looking at bot lane. My bot lane has pressure. My mid lane dies, but Yasuo's pretty low, and Yasuo's forced to recall. Once Echo kills these 3 minions, this wave is going to bounce back, and that means that I'll have prio in mid and bot when I go for this grab. So I definitely want to be going for this grab. The fight starts. Actually, I should have just looked at the bot lane wave set because it's completely even now. But I am taking a 1v1 against the Diana. It's a little close. I don't even think I needed to flash there. She just missed her Q by herself, but I flashed intending to dodge her Q. And then I also got the crab, so I got 2 marks from this fight, which is huge. I'm looking at this fight, but I'm pretty low, so I need to be very careful, and it's not really worth risking dying to Yasuo. So like if I was full HP, I could do something bot here, especially because we have spectator and we can see that there's no vision, although that's not necessarily information I can know in the moment. This is a good bot opportunity, but I'm just too low, so I take my recall, and now my camps are respawning top to bot. And this game, my default is always going to be a full clear from top to bot. If there's nothing else for me to do in the game, always default to that, because it's always better to do a consistent safe call than like flip a risky call for no reason. But this is a mistake here based on my understanding of Diana's pathing. So what Diana and I both started our top buff and then path to here and then fought at the crab. And we both did basically the exact same thing, which means that I can be like 99% sure that we're both going to be on the top side of the map. So as soon as I see this top fight happening, especially when I see Sion die, I should be immediately running over here to protect him from the Diana gank. I didn't think I would need to in the moment, but I should have done it. And because I went late and I did Krugs first, my top lane dies and we don't get the kill. But if I'd shown up here 5 seconds sooner and I was just with him, we could have probably easily zoned Diana, because I'm much stronger than her right now. But this is a bit of a dangerous call. I would not actually recommend going for this invade. The reason being, top lane, they have prio, mid lane, they have prio. I am 100% sure I killed Diana here, but the problem is, basically, if this Yasuo is good, I'm going to die here, or it will be very difficult for me to survive. But I did, based on the way I was watching this Yasuo play, I did decide to risk this invade, but I would not generally recommend going for this play. But in a different scenario, where I had mid prio or mid was even, if mid was even and top was even, this is a very good invade to go for, because I know I kill her and there's the mark here. So take the fight. She just gets zoned off. I'm up a level. I have double buff. She has nothing. I was watching top lane the entire time for how long it would take Sion to walk down. He walks down. They see me on this ward, and now I just go to sequence my own camps. You can reach any rank you want. All you need is information. I can teach you the concepts and mindset that I learned while climbing to masters, so you can do the same. Whether you love the game or just want to impress your friends, anything is possible with the information I've collected for you in my jungle guide. If you're ready to take control of your rank today, check out the link in the description. And I know that last camp I cleared was Krugs, so I make sure to clear my raptors before going to my bot side, because now, even though there was a decent gap between when I took these camps, they're still somewhat synced, and the raptors are now reset, which means they'll be a higher level next time I take them. My mid pings me. He's down a level. Yasuo is strong. This is not a good gank to go for, because Yasuo can just 1v2 us right now. Bot opportunity here. The enemy bot lane here is trolling. This is like an emerald game. They're not paying enough attention to where I am on the map. Higher elo bot lanes would not be playing like this. But this is just a free kill on the Malphite because they're pushed all the way up to here with no wards for some reason. Easy kill. I help my bot lane push. I ping that we want to do the dragon. We ensure that we get their wave in, and then we eat this nice dragon. So we did not have vision of Diana entering here. In my head, I was considering that she could have invaded my top side here. This is a classic cross map style of play. She knows for sure that I'm bot taking dragon, so she knows that even though she loses 1v1, she can walk into my top side and take these camps, which she would not be able to do if she didn't have vision on me, or at least she wouldn't be able to safely do. So I should be pinging my top laner that Diana is probably going to cross map something. And we can actually see that the Scion is spam pinging his jungler because his jungler is like right here. But Diana walks down, and right here, my mid is coming off a reset, so he'll be kind of close in strength to Yasuo, but he'll still be a bit weaker. But we just killed their top laner, and I'm much stronger than their jungler, so we decided to take the reps. I make a bit of a mistake here. I should have just smited this one. The Scion R did more damage than I expected. We narrowly escape. Yasuo flashes over. I drop my Kindred ult. This was really well played by my TK. If he hadn't gotten that stun off at that timing, Yasuo would have killed me for sure. But then I played the rest of this fight carefully. I go and I make sure to get the mark, then we recall. This is a little bit awkward because I'm heavily desynchronizing these two camps right now by recalling. I should have taken these raptors, honestly. I don't think I should have recalled like this because now these two camps are very desynchronized. I don't have the timers up right now, but this is not efficient, and I could have taken one more camp before recalling. But this is the right call because I know I want to be putting myself bot side, so I go and I start at the wolves instead of running to the grump first. So I hop the wall to take the wolves, and then I go down to here, and then going like this, make sure to put me as close to bot lane as I can be to either counter gank, because I know that Diana's probably on the same side of the map, or to go for a gank, generally speaking. Again, mid is pushed in, but I don't really want to try to mess with this lane. The Yasuo is pretty scary, and I am still a jungler, so even though I'm strong, I'm down a level. This bot lane was just terrible. They were free kills nonstop. I know that they're going to be trying to force plays because they're a dive comp. They're level 6 Malphite. They're Tristana. All I need to do, walk in here, drop a control word to make sure they have no vision. This control word was probably unnecessary because of how much pressure my bot lane had. At the end of the day, I still placed it. And we just get a free kill. 2 free kills because they are non-stop forcing on my bot lane without vision. My Echo's getting kind of destroyed, but he's barely surviving. And now I walk into mid to eat the wave and zone Yasuo off this tower. I see the top is fighting, so I'm kind of pulling in. I clear this ward, and then I just start walking towards my top laner because I want to make sure that if Diana and Yasuo try to force on my top laner here, I'm there to counter gank. So you can see I'm pulling my Krugs as close as I can get. We know that Yasuo's missing. It doesn't look like they're going for a play, so I just commit to the recall. That whole time I had my camera looking at top lane to see if I needed to help my top. Real quick, because I don't have 1,000 subscribers on this channel, YouTube is taking 100% of the profit. So if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe to help me actually make money from the videos that I'm making. Thank you very much. And then there's nothing for me to do topside, so I take my recall, finally get my Kraken Slayer, and we go for the dragon. Ping my bot lane for help. One thing to do if you're playing in low reload especially, and this is still important in high reload, but especially in low reload, if you're doing something that requires coordination with your team, you need to spam ping them always. If you don't ping what you're doing, you can't be mad that they don't see it because you shouldn't expect them to be able to perfectly pay attention to you because they're low elo. Baby your teammates in terms of communication. Like, make sure your communication is as direct and explicit as it can possibly be. We took the dragon, and I know that the grubs are spawning, so I go to mid and I help my losing mid laner get prio. And now that he has prio, Yasuo is forced to stand here and eat this wave, and Echo can run up here with me way ahead of when Yasuo can walk in and help his jungler. By going to mid and helping my mid get prio, we're way stronger here. And for whatever reason, he tries to force on my Echo, like I'm not just gonna run in and kill him. And I mess up a bit here. I should have flashed his NATO and not flashed in here, but to be honest, I didn't think that Diana would actually be able to kill me. We trade 2 for 1. It's not the end of the world. That's not that great. And then right here, both of my solo laners just got solo kills. So I say to both of them, actually, I ping them both to recall immediately because I know that from base, all I want to do is recall, run to red and take the red. And then by that time, my team will be back on the map. And then after that, we can immediately take the Herald. We're way stronger. There's no reason for us to not force it. My TK stays a little bit longer than would be ideal, but I think he TPs, so it doesn't matter as much. Oh yeah, I forgot that Scion started running it down at this point. This game is kind of over now. It's not really worth watching the rest of this because the enemy team is kind of just running it down now. I didn't have to do anything special to win this game. And like from the score, it looks like we did something crazy to win. But all I really had to do was just patiently wait for the opportunities to present themselves. Like that's all you really have to do. Most games, you don't have to do anything too crazy to win them. All you really need to do is just play carefully, identify your win conditions, and don't force losing plays. Like when you have nothing to do, just do nothing and default to full clearing your camps. And if you do that, you will outperform 90% of junglers because 90% of junglers force dumb plays all the time, especially when they're behind, because you get behind and then you start to feel like you're pressured to make a play. But instead, what you want to do when you're behind or when your team is losing, because a lot of the time junglers, when their team is losing, they feel pressured to make plays. I definitely do this all the time. But the actual thing you want to do when you're behind or when your team is struggling is just be very careful, clear your camps, do what little you can to make, like do counter ganks, etc., and just wait for the inevitable throws that the enemy will have. Literally, there are 0 games that don't have throws in them. I guarantee it. So all you have to do is wait for the enemy team to throw. You don't even need to try to force anything. All right. I'm a little rusty because I haven't recorded a video in a while. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time.